So on Monday, what happens? I mean, I consider you guys my friends. I'm not wrong, am I?
You know, guys, some of the biggest regrets I've had in my life is when I've let people down. When I let people down because of my own selfish reasons, uh, and they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve it. It was 100% my fault, and that's one of the big regrets in my life. Let me tell you about one example that I did. This is what I did. I was 16 or 17 years old. All right, and that's real young. So when you're real young, you're gonna make dumb mistakes. You're gonna make a lot of dumb mistakes at that age. And but I was old enough to know better. I really was. So I was in high school, and I had this guy that would like to hang around with me. You could say that we were sort of friends. Um, his name was Bill, not his real name. We'll say Bill. And Bill used to like to hang around with me before class, in between classes, at school dances. You know, he didn't follow me all over the place, but I was friendly to him, and he would like to come and talk to me every now and then, quite a bit, not too much. I liked him. I think he was fine. But the thing is, guys, he was really nerdy. He was really nerdy. All right, so was I. So was I. But he was more nerdy. All right, you know, if I was a 75 on the nerd scale, he was a 90. All right, so and he was just kind of he was big. Look, he was overweight. He was tall, overweight, big guy, and he didn't have a lot of friends, or maybe not any friends. I don't know. I don't know. But he was just a dorky, nerdy guy. But he was friendly. He was friendly to me. I didn't mind him hanging around with me. I didn't mind talking to him. I didn't mind being friendly with him. I didn't mind. It was fine. In fact, I enjoyed kind of talking to him. Um, but he wasn't cool. And when you're at that age, you're trying to be cool. You're trying to have a certain level of coolness. You're not secure enough in yourself uh, to be yourself, or to hang around with the people that you want to hang around with. So, I, I know Bill liked hanging around with me. And there was a dance one time where I was used to like to go to school dances, have a lot of fun, dance to that 80s music. To me, that was a lot of fun. I went to this dance, with some other friends, and Bill was there. And, Bill came over to me and he said, "Hi, how you doing?" We talked a little bit, and then he moved off. He went somewhere else. And my other friend, David, not his real name, um, we can't reveal the innocent people here, okay? Although David wasn't that innocent. David came over to me and he said, "Hey, Russ, look, look, don't talk to Bill. Don't hang around with Bill. Can't you see that he's a nerd? Can't you see that he's a dork? That's gonna look bad on you. That's gonna look bad on all of us. don't hang around with him. That's what David said. That's what he said. And instead of you know being a man about it, instead of you know just telling David, hey man, he's not hurting anything, all right? You know, I hang around with him a little bit. We talk. It's not a problem. You know, I'm just going to hang around I'm going to talk to who I want to talk to. Instead of saying that, I said, oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're probably right. You're right. I can't be hanging around with Bill because he's a nerd. He's more nerdy than me. Okay. So sure enough, a little while later at that dance, I told Bill, hey, we can't hang around together anymore. We just can't hang around. We can't be friends. I told him that. I told him that, and he just kind of a downcast look on his face. He said, "Oh, okay, okay, Russ. I understand. That's fine." And that was it. And that was it. And I always remembered that. I always remembered that. What a jerk I was. You know, you know, I was probably one of the few friends that Bill had. I was one of the few people that hang around and talk with him. And now I just told him no. Look, I'm not saying you have to be friends with people you don't want to be friends with. You don't have to do that, right? You be friends with whoever you want to be friends with. But I didn't mind being friends with him. It was fine. And what does it cost me to be a little friendly to someone, to talk to someone a little bit? What does it cost me, right? I've always remembered that. I've always remembered that. I heard him. I heard him for no reason. For no reason. And that, situations like that is something that makes life worse. It makes life worse for everybody. Uh, and what did it gain me? Was I instantly cool because I stopped talking to Bill? Was I instantly the popular guy? No, man, no. It didn't help me at all. It didn't help me at all. It hurt me. Look, I don't deserve his friendship. I don't. Good for him. Good for him that I said that because I did not deserve his friendship. What a low life I was. What a jerk I was. I'm sorry now. I'm sorry now. With the benefit of hindsight, with the benefit of maturity. Yeah, I'm sorry now. Uh, have I ever talked to him again? I mean, yeah. I saw him, now and then, and sometimes I'd say hi. But we never hung around again. We never had a proper conversation again. Why should he? Why should he hang around with me? Yeah. So it's been many years now. It's been decades, and I haven't talked to him in decades, and nor do I plan to. Nor do I plan to. I don't. Look, you don't want to open an old wound like that. I hope to God he's forgotten about me because I'm embarrassed. And you know what? You just don't want to open an old wound like that, especially when you're a man. When you're a man, and it's just kind of look. I want to respect him. I want to respect him, and there was a time that I disrespected him, and I'm just really sorry. You just don't open up a subject like that with another man, and you just let it go. You just let it go. Just live and learn. I hope he's forgiven me or forgot about me over the years. I hope he's had a good life. I wish I had maintained contact with him, but I didn't. And that was my own fault. So, what do you learn from this, guys? You know, you learn a lot. You learn a lot over the years. You learn a lot that, you know, I think I think kind of that situation has kind of helped me over the years. People know me now as a pretty friendly person. I am a I'm a pretty friendly and respectful person, and I don't think hardly anyone has a problem with me. Uh, I like to be friendly to everybody. I like to be respectful to everybody, and I don't care if you're a nerd or not. Don't underestimate the nerds, guys. Do not underestimate the nerds. In the end, they tend to win. All right. So, uh, but yeah, I hope Bill had a good life, and I'm sure he did. And well, that's my story, guys. That's my story. What do you think? What do you think? I was a jerk. I know it. I know it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Take care.